Social update UG. 10 in race for Bank of Uganda governor job. 10 people have been solicited out in a race to be the Bank of Uganda governor. This photo combo created on October 31st, 2022 shows President Museveni and Bank of Uganda governor hopefuls. Top row, left to right, Simon Otega, Adam Mugume, Victor Murinde, Richard Byaruhanga, Faith Muhakanizi. Bottom row, left to right, Ezra Suruma, Michael Atingi Ego, Nwagaba Augustus, and Chitabire, and Damoni Chitabire. Mujja kumbuulira mmwe member gama tribalism biki. Just hear out those names and tell me what you think. The list has been sent to the president to make a final decision. Together, 10 economists and financial experts are in the lead for appointment as the next Bank of Uganda governor amid frantic below-the-surface lobbying for the top job. A publication has learned. Sources familiar with the matter intimated to a publisher that the candidates were vetted by security a few months ago and the names were forwarded to President Museveni to make the pick. However, 9 months after the passing of the previous office holder Emmanuel Tumusime Mutebile, the president is quiet about the choice of the next governor. Tumusime Mutebile, who died on January 23rd, held the position for slightly over 2 decades. The prerogative for appointment of the Central Bank of Uganda and their deputy, according to the Bank of Uganda Act, lies with the president on the advice of the cabinet. The law is, however, silent on the timeline within which the appointment is to be made. Mr. Henry Musasi, the junior Minister of Finance, told Daily Monitor last week that there is no crisis at the central bank occasioned by the delayed appointment of the governor. The bank is well, there is a board, there is a management team, and they are working well. Everything is working well, he said. The Bank of Uganda Act designates the governor and their deputy, respectively, as chairperson and deputy chairperson of the Central Bank Board, which approves and provides oversight. The deputy governor, Mr. Michael Atingi Yago, has been holding out for both positions. Top on the shortlist is Mr. Damoni Chitavire, a macroeconomic and development consultant who until August 2020 was the African Development Bank country manager for Zambia. Currently, he is a consultant and serves as a non-executive director of Stanbic Bank. Together, Mr. Chitavire worked for the Ministry of Finance in the 1980s until 1999. He then joined the International Monetary Fund and later returned to the Ministry of Finance for a short spell in 2006, from where he joined AFDB in 2007. Together. Also the shortlist, a former Makerere University economics lecturer and consultant on economic transformation, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, Dr. Atingi Yago, and the former Bank of Uganda Assistant Director for Statistics, Dr. Francis Lenny Anguyo, who currently works as Principal Research Economist at AFDB. Other front-runners are former Uganda Securities Exchange Limited Chief Executive Officer Simon Otega, Bank of Uganda Director for Research and Policy Adam Mugume, Professor Victor Murinde, who currently serves as the Director for Global Finance at the University of London School of Oriental and African Studies, the National Social Security Fund Managing Director, Mr. Richard Byaruhanga, former Finance Minister Dr. Ezra Suruma, and the former Secretary of Treasury, Faith Muhakanizi, who is also the permanent secretary for the office of the Prime Minister. The delayed naming of a substantive governor has set tongues wagging as the country contends with macroeconomic and instabilities, including the growing embers of inflation precipitated by the slow recovery from the recent COVID-19 induced lockdowns and the Russia-Ukraine war. The central bank warned in June of tighter monetary conditions on accounts of slowed economic growth between 4.5% and 5% this year, lower than previous projections of 5.5% to 6% growth rate on accounts of weaker external demand coupled with surging economic prices and the resultant high domestic inflation. The Uganda Revenue Authority said revenue collection is improving despite the despair of slow economic growth and soaring debt. The Parliamentary Committee on National Economy, which scrutinizes the executive's loans and requests, will starting today look into the request to borrow shillings 1.7 trillion from local banks, which has remained a matter of concern for it lives out to the public sector. For the past 9 months, Dr. Atingiago, as acting governor and working closely with the cash-strapped treasury, has attempted to steady the central bank ship He has attempted to steady the central bank ship which was being rocked by this microeconomic turbulence locally amid a global economic downturn. During the first quarter of the current financial year, the government struggled to find the cash to meet many of its statutory obligations, including payment of civil servants on its payroll. The position improved slightly during the second quarter releases, but the government is not yet out of the woods. Sources also hinted on two possibilities of either elevating Dr. Atingiago as substantive governor and a new deputy appointed, or appointing a new governor. Dr. Atingiago was named in the position 3 months after the exit of Dr. Louis Kaseke, who had served out his 2 terms of 5 years contract. While it is so difficult to say who will be appointed to head the central bank, one of the known facts is that any probable candidate has to be well regarded by the Bretton Woods institutions, World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Warning, the central bank warned in June of tighter monetary conditions on accounts of slowed economic growth between 4.5% and 5% this year. Nenga again okubeera nga ekifo ekyo. Just more to think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. Peace.